commercials for it.
Action!
Look at the camera.
Say hi, my name is Owen.
Hi, my name is Owen.
Dad,
Where we wanna go again?
on the weekend we'll go.
Moving on.
My first thoughts when I found out is I didn't know nothing about autism.
The 3 areas when you're diagnosed with autism that a doctor would look for would be a communication impairment, and then another area they look at is a behavior impairment. How long have you had her?
Longer than me?
Well, oftentimes we're just in our own world. It's safer that way.
And then the last would be a social impairment. So social skills.
I drew a tear, and that's a mistake.
You don't want your kid to be looked at. You don't want people to say things about them that's not kind. You just want them to be happy.
Just be understanding and try to think of how life is for them.
They're just like any typical child. I don't use the word normal anymore because what is normal today?
When she was diagnosed, it wasn't, I like to say, as popular as it is today. She had seizures since she was 9 months old, petite mal, and she was constantly having those, like 10 to 20 a day. That became part of her life. Once a year, even more so, trying new medicines, trying to figure out why she was having these seizures. And during one of the visits, a student doctor said, you know, there's more going on here, when they were really watching Kate interact with her. And I'm like, well, I don't know what you mean. And I said, I know she doesn't really talk much, but that's just because she's the youngest. And she said, no, I think there's more going on. No one will ever say what it is if they're not qualified to say what it is. So long story short, we end up going to the Children's Center here in St. Catharines and had a psychologist, I guess it was, diagnose her.
She was always my little girl. She's just cute and adorable and curly hairs. That doesn't change at all. I mean, whether you have your child has a disability or not, you still love that child regardless of it, no matter what.
I do see people treat Kate differently in public because they start acting weird around her, and teachers would even like treat her differently. And I know there's definitely like a point where you do have to treat her kind of differently, but not in a negative way.
I had one lady come up to me because Kate was not enjoying the moment, and she was screaming and putting up a fuss, and to a stranger it just looked like a tantrum, like she wasn't getting what she wanted. But the reality was, it was driving her crazy. There was a Santa Claus running around the store and trying to give her a candy cane, and that just creeped her out. She did not like it. And the lady came up to me and says, "Excuse me," like all snobby like, and I'm like, excuse me, like, you don't know my child. I make no excuses for her. I don't have to explain myself to you. She is autistic, and I don't even want to say that she's autistic. I owe nobody an explanation. So you learn really quickly to not care what other people think.
Dealing with drama in the past, when I got bullied in grade 7, 8, and like, it was not fun at all. And in elementary, like before I went to my other school, it was fine, but they never hanged out with me. Like, they didn't really care about me.
But now that you're in high school,
Yeah.
what about now?
It feels awesome. It feels like I'm in another new world.
That's great. So now you're making friends, right?
Yeah.
I'd like people to know that they may seem different. Like people thought they may seem different, but they're not different.
What subjects are you taking in school this year?
What I'm taking is cooking, literacy, gym, art. And this is probably like the most perfect drawing I ever did in my whole life. Took me years to draw that. I was so proud of myself that day. I was like, oh yes, oh, this is my best day of my life. And it's my second favorite thing to do after spinning.
Tell us about your spinning. How did you learn to do it?
Came out of nowhere. I just grabbed like a pillow because I decided just putting something, an object on my feet and just do with it.
At your talent show?
Yeah,
What was that like?
the most like people that I have spun with. After all the regular kids were all crazy and they're like, I don't know, like other celebrities will do. And then my one friend was trying to protect me from it just in case.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Owen. Happy birthday to you.
Owen's birthday actually falls at an inconvenient time in August, so he really didn't have much friends attend his birthday. And he started getting invites last year to friends' birthdays, which was nice. And Vanessa cried like she does when he got his first birthday invite from a friend at school. And then he started getting more. And we wanted him to experience his friends coming to his birthday. So here we are 2 months after his birthday, and he now thinks he's turning 9 when he's still 8.
Whose birthday are you going to today?
Owen's.
Owen's, what are you guys doing?
He's gonna have it inside out. His birthday's at bowling.
We thought this year was big for him. He graduated from intensive behavior intervention, which was 21 hours a week that he was not in school. So he was part-time in school, part-time in therapy. So him graduating in March, he got to be in school full-time from March to June, and he had friends, but he made friends even more. And then we started to get the birthday invites home because he was spending more time at school. And after I cried and I realized that he's getting invites, and they were all to, which was big, to boy parties, typical boy parties, which is pretty big, wasn't just to the girls. We thought he's had a pretty stellar year. He's been amazing. He's been in therapy since he was 2. We want to celebrate that. So at an inconvenient time in August, and September's too close to back to school, we thought we would have a big party for him in October, and we let him invite his whole class, and he picked what he wanted to do. Like, this is all Owen. He wanted inside out birthday party with the feelings and emotions, and I'm all game for that. So we just said he can have the best 8th birthday party that we can throw. That's on his terms.
I video record you. Yes. Yes.
My first thought when Owen was diagnosed was that our life was over. We both have worked in areas where you see kind of the worst, and sad individuals who didn't get the early intervention. They just kind of existed. And with Owen, when we found out I was with my mom, and then I came inside and I just mourned. You kind of go through, as a mom anyways, I went through a grief process, and I thought, this is it. Like this, his life is over, and there's nothing we can do to change it. The background of the diagnosis was we started to see Owen go through regression. We had a very typical pregnancy and child, and then about 15, 16 months, I remember saying to Ryan, like, shouldn't his brain just contain this information? Because he was developing typically. He said kitty, dada, bubba. Yeah.
No mama.
Yeah, there's no mama. But he said the other words, and then we stopped hearing kitty. We stopped hearing bubba. I think he kept with dada though.
The important word.
Yeah. But that's classic regression. So we saw him lose those, and then after realizing, we kind of knew it was there, and then I went with Owen to my family doctor, who's very like old school English from England, and he said, no, you guys are overreacting, and Owen is your first, and we were young, so we were young parents, we were 22, and he said, you know, just don't worry about it, boys are slower. But both of us knew, and I especially knew.
What do you love most about your parents, your mom and dad?
I like my mom.
Ben, he was interesting. Ben was part of a siblings group study because I had a lot of worries about Ben. Ben was the complete opposite of Owen. Ben didn't even have too much communication, where Owen went through that classic regression. Ben was very self-injurious to himself, so he would like smack himself in the head constantly, hit his head, and Owen never did any of that. So in participating in this study, there was red flags. So we saw it actually much earlier than I saw with Owen, but we were also watching for it. And then he was diagnosed the exact same age, same process, same everything. But it was very interesting to have one who's so classic, and then where Ben isn't. Ben's quirky. So it was very interesting to have two kind of ends of the spectrum. My first thoughts when Ben was diagnosed with autism was, at least this time we have direction. With Owen, we didn't. We didn't know what to do, where to go. And with Ben, I felt that we were much more prepared, and watching the gains that Owen's brother made.
For fundraising, we were raising funds for Owen's private therapy because the government intervention, the IVI program, was on a 3-year wait, and we knew how important being in this field that early intervention was at an early stage as possible. So I picked up a second job. I was working 80 hours a week, and it still wasn't enough to pay for the private therapy. So my parents held a Stag and Doe styled fundraiser that helped us pay for private therapy, which we did for over 2 years, and then Owen went to school.
Ow! Ben! Sorry. You stepped on my hand. I didn't step on your hand. No, you hurting me. I didn't hurt you.
My perception from when Owen was diagnosed, thinking that his life was done and there's nothing we can do, to today has completely changed. 360. See, more emotional. He is the definition of probably the hardest working kid that I know. There's not many adults that I know that work, especially, well, just like his dad. He's a very hard worker. He has, like I said, been in therapy since he was 2, and he just pushes these limitations that are on him. Even if Owen, if he doesn't get to be a computer engineer or a video game designer, which I could totally see him do, if even he's just happy cutting lawns, that's okay. Like, when you're in our life, your perception of things, I think, really changes. I don't need my kid to graduate from Brock, and then go on to get married and have 20 kids and have the best career. And of course I want everything like that. I'm not saying that, but if cutting lawns and living with mom and dad, it makes him happy, then that makes me more happy than anything in the world.
Ben,
Yeah?
what do you want to be when you grow up?
I'm gonna be a police. Police.
Why?
So I can protect my mom.
My message to Owen, Maddie, and Ben is your personal struggles. Everyone has their personal struggles. Everyone has their things that make them different, and mom and dad will love you regardless.
My message to all three of them will be that no matter how old you are, I have loved you since I saw you on that little ultrasound, and I'm always all three of your voice. Always.
Parker loves baking. It's been a few years now. We have a worker, Sarah, who's worked with him for about 8 years now. She kind of got him hooked on baking. He'll look up recipes and different ideas on YouTube, and she'll bake with him. He's gone to the cooking classes through the Potential program, so he's learned how to bake and cook there. We do some cooking and baking at home, and now with his new school at Thorold High School, they've started baking there too. It's a great life skill for him because he's pretty lazy and he wants us to do everything for him, so it's nice now that he's able to help out and he's actually interested in learning and wanting to know, because one day we're not going to be here and he's going to have to do that stuff for himself. Parker wears headphones. He's worn them for a few years now. We did have bus issues, so it was the bus driver originally who had suggested him wearing headphones on the bus to filter out the noises from the other kids. So it's just started as him wearing them on the bus. Now he wears them all the time. Just everything's too loud, the birds outside, the other kids. He's very sensitive to sound, and for him it's a security blanket. He just wears the headphones to tune everybody else out and all the loud noises out, and it just helps him function in his everyday life. Parker, can you tell them what the Wiggles' names are? What are their names?
Mary, Greg, Anthony.
Show them, hold your iPad up and show them.
Jeff, Mary, Greg, Anthony.
The Wiggles have been a huge part of our life for probably 12 years now, since he's been a baby pretty well. Probably 2 years old, he started loving the Wiggles. He's 14 now, he still loves the Wiggles. Parker makes YouTube videos about the Wiggles. He has a YouTube account and he posts videos of himself singing Wiggles songs, talking about the Wiggles, him watching Wiggles videos, different clips from the movies. He will videotape on his iPod and then upload them to his YouTube account. So he hasn't done it in a while though. There hasn't been any new ones in a few years, so he'll look pretty little in those videos.
When my sister and I are ATVing and she's all happy through that, it's awesome, because I mean that's the one thing we get to share. That's the one thing we have in common that we both like doing. I mean, we've both tried taking karate classes. That didn't really work out so well, and we've tried doing other things, but that ATVing, that's the one thing we can both do that we enjoy, that makes her happy.
My life has changed since Patricia was diagnosed because my daughter's life has changed.
So she was diagnosed at 20 months, and that's when the roller coaster ride starts.
I can't actually remember the moment of finding out that she had ASD. I don't remember being told. It was just something that I grew to know.
I didn't know, what it really meant.
Yeah, I had done a project on autism in high school, so it was a little bit familiar, and I knew it was something that was, was a tough road for parents.
Growing up, more understanding she has autism, it was hard. especially seeing what it put my family through. It's always gonna be hard. It's never going to get easy.
Ellie was pointing. Plotting. You were
Like her therapy, you know, what basically it is now has evolved from what it first was. But what is now is to maintain the skills that she has. Because a lot of times, you know, if things aren't reinforced over time, she can lose those skills.
With Christine. And what are you gonna do?
Swimming.
And?
Yellowstone. Human horses.
That's right. 8:30? Go. That's right.
I would see teachers with her, and I remember I was always so protective over her. I'd like make sure no kids were bugging her, everyone was treating her okay. To the point where the teachers would actually like get mad at me. They'd be like, "Hey, you need to give her space," but it's hard because it's like I was so worried about other kids judging her and bullying her and just not knowing what would happen.
Having, like, say, Patricia treated differently out in public, I won't let it happen. You know, I won't let it happen because I more or less try to protect her anytime there is, say, a person that's being rude.
There's all types of different people in this world. Some people are willing to understand, some people aren't. But you gotta take the good with the bad.
I have no problem saying to, you know, excuse me, but my granddaughter has autism. You know, if I have to say it, like I'm not going to just stand by and have them give her a dirty look and that.
I guess I'm just sort of used to it. Like, she does something in a grocery store, she's flapping her hands. I'm like, oh yeah, that's normal, and someone else will be confused or not really sure what's going on.
That child is probably doing something to soothe, self-soothe, you know,
They're no different
himself
than
or
anybody
herself,
else. I
you
mean,
know.
they're still kids. They still have, you know, their own ideas or their own thoughts. Just it's not the same as everybody else's, right?
She's taught me a lot about life, more than most people have, and that's to just be like strong. I mean, she hasn't let anyone really stop her. She hasn't let autism stop her from living her life. She's still happy as can be, you know what I mean? And she doesn't let any struggle or what anyone thinks about her stand in her way. I know it's not easy for my sister, like her senses and everything. She sees things completely different than how I would see them or how anyone else would see them. And they have to understand that she has so many challenges every day that other people wouldn't normally have.
My hopes for Patricia is that one day she will be able to sufficiently be on her own, that she will be able to learn to take care of herself, because you know, one day we won't be around.
She's made it so far. I mean, from being able to like non-verbal, and now she's rambling on full sentences. I have to say I'm really proud of her for that.
You know, you have to sort of, you know, play by their rules, like what's comfortable for them, and just accept that. And you find that, you know, you tend to get more in the long run, you know, more of a connection.
What do the traffic lights say to the car?
I don't know.
Don't look at me, I'm changing! Hi, I'm Connor. I like to read books, play Zelda, and tell jokes. I also have autism. This month is Autism Awareness Month, so make a new friend with someone who has autism.
So recently, for the month of October, he was asked by Autism Ontario to collaborate for Bell Media and do a radio commercial for Autism Awareness Month in October. And he got to go into a studio and into the professional recording and read off a screen this script that they had made based on his own input, which I thought was amazing.
Connor, could you tell us again about when you went to the radio show?
I was a little bit nervous, but I was excited and happy at the same time. I felt like I was ready to end up in movies.
You know, it's interesting when you look at the fact that, you know, he has a hard time getting through a school day that he does 5 days a week, but pulling him out and taking him to a recording studio to read off a script and just let the whole world hear him, it went off without a hitch, and I'm just really proud of him. And I feel like that takes a lot of courage, and maybe I underestimate how much courage he uses just to go to school.
Okay, go ahead. No, too far. Okay.
When we got the diagnosis, it was probably one of the most exciting times for me. From the time that he was about 2 onwards, there were things that were different about him, but not enough that most people would pick them out and say he's different. So getting a diagnosis more or less gave us the opportunity to finally say he's not a bad kid. He just has difficulties, and now we know why, and now we can get help for him so that he's not labeled the bad child anymore. There's a reason behind it, and this is the reason.
Okay. And what does that spell?
Connor.
It spells what?
Connor.
Show me that you love it.
I love it.
Can you sing happy birthday? Connor? You sing happy birthday? Happy birthday to you. Some of the struggles that I've experienced being a single parent, raising a child on the spectrum, as you can imagine, some of the general struggles being single income, single availability. So luckily, now I'm able to work from home and save the time and effort of taking him to and from a daycare, and now he can just come home and relax every day. So it's definitely been a struggle being a single parent. And at the end of the day, you have to be okay. But there's nobody there to help you. There's nobody to talk to. So when you fall apart, you can't. You can never fall apart.
And what do you like to do with your mom, Connor?
I like to go do fun things with her, like go apple picking, go see the movies, dress up the dog like a crazy cutie.
He went through a phase where he would only wear a superhero cape everywhere that we went. And people used to give us funny looks. So I just wore it too. So I went in places with a superhero cape on too, because I'm just very protective of him and I don't want people to look at him differently. So every now and then if I see, especially kids his age, looking at him doing a tick or something, I'll do it too, just so that he doesn't feel alone.
Thy now curses you for an eternal sleep.
So he has, high functioning autism, sensory processing disorder, severe anxiety, and OCD tendencies, along with ADHD. So while one thing might be autism, his other behaviors are some of the other diagnoses that come along with those.
So what's it like with your friends at the Autism Center compared to your friends at school?
Some of them are hyperactive, some of them have no cares, some of them are kind of crazy, some of them are really nice, some of them can be mean, some of them are, well, sometimes will be looking for a fight. But overall, you gotta appreciate them all.
One day, I hope that he's able to look at himself and be as proud of himself as I am of him. And I just want him to be happy and know that he's so special.
That's planet Kipler. It's
Kipler?
planet.
It's the hottest planet, is it?
This is the cold planet.
The cold planet. planet. Makes sense, right? The hot rays go up, cold rays go down. Okay, any more?
Yes.
What about Jupiter
Jupiter?
and Mars?
Mars is the biggest planet.
One piece of advice for him, don't sweat the small stuff. I could probably give that to myself, to be honest with you. Don't take everything that's said to him to heart, because he personally takes everything that everybody says, especially me, to heart. And he doesn't understand that there's levels of frustration, levels of, I can be upset with you, it doesn't mean that I hate you. That would be one piece of advice. And just, if it makes you feel good, do it. Really, that's what I would tell him. Just because some people think that it's wrong and it makes you happy, just do it.
I want my kiss.
Do I have a kiss?
Yes, and then...
You always seal every video with a kiss. How do you spell your name?
Connor.
What does that spell?
Connor.
Connor what?
Connor Tilly.
Autism Ontario has been a light for us.
The programs that they put
the
on
programs
for the
that they
kids,
put on for the
it's
kids.
fantastic. I mean, even
Yeah.
summer camps. I mean,
Yeah.
it really helps us because, you know, when they're used to going to school or being busy every day, right? Come summertime, what do you do with them, right?
And they go out every couple of Friday nights and they do things that they want to do, and like swimming or horseback riding they're going to be doing, and doing all these things that quite frankly we can't do with her. We can't provide that pure contact with her.
Autism Ontario helped me be independent.
We've taken part in the social skills program, the rec group, summer camps, Christmas shopping party they've done.
We now have the ability to have play dates with kids like him that aren't judging him. And I can send him to someone's house from the chapter and I don't have to worry.
I felt like I could learn so much from people who have already been through the battles that we were getting prepared to fight.
We didn't think he would ever be where he is now. He didn't speak till he was almost 6. So now he communicates verbally. He can get himself dressed in the morning. He can help himself to a little snack.
He can do everything. I've just been amazed with what he's been able to do just in the last 2 weeks. Going above and beyond his comfort zone. Just because people believe that he could.
The Autism Ontario chapter has helped me and my family by just kind of becoming our family.
It just made me feel like I was not alone.
There's a huge stigma around what autism looks like, what exactly it is.
It is a disability. You can't see it. It's not a physical disability, but it's really hard when parents or other parents will say, well, she needs to learn too.
When you go out in public and you don't know everybody's struggles, and we have struggles, but I think that we do a really, really good job as a family.
Autism comes in all shapes and sizes.
Children with special need, they give special love back.